Gen X women are done, exhausted, over it, fried, numb, no more F's to give. You've heard it described in a lot of different ways with a lot of different words, but we're over it. And if you're feeling that way and somehow stumbled across this video, there's a reason for that. So hear me out. I am here at Main Beach in Laguna Beach, which is really where my transformation began 4 years ago. I used to live here. This was my dream location to live. And I had what looked on paper to be a wonderful corporate executive job, earned a decent living in my dream location. In fact, my apartment I could practically see my apartment from the beach, which was amazing. And I packed it all up and left 4 years ago, not sure what the future held. And I find myself back here visiting. And as I've been here for the last couple of weeks, it's been a little bit surreal, because I've also, on a separate playlist on this channel, I have been revisiting the video diaries that I made back during my sabbatical and watching them in real time and talking about what has changed, what has stayed the same, etc. This morning, I had one of our monthly Gen X Women coffee chats, which was born from this channel that was launched earlier this year. And we had a really wonderful conversation about burnout. And some of the women on the call were in the thick of it. Some of them were just on the other side of it, like just starting to feel some hope and feel some light. And some of us have evolved past it and have moved past it and have made some good progress. And we were talking about how those of us who have moved through it need to reach back and help those that are still in the thick of it and pull out and, help pull them out. And that is part of the inspiration for today's video. If you are in the thick of it, here's what it looks like. You're on autopilot. You're going through the motions of your day-to-day life. You have a ton of responsibility on your plate. You've got so much on your plate. You're taking care of everybody else around you. You're taking care of people at work, whether it's, your colleagues, sometimes your boss. You're taking care of your boss. You're taking care of people who report to you, that you work with, plus your family, your kids, your spouses, your partners. You have little to nothing left over for friends. And so that's difficult. But because you have so many obligations, so many responsibilities, you're plugging away at it every single day. And it takes every ounce of energy that you have to accomplish all the amazing things that you're doing, because you still kick butt. You're still really, really, really good at what you do. And you crush it. You give 150%. Then you come home and you crash. And you're exhausted and you're depleted. On the weekends, you've got nothing left to, forget hobbies, forget joy, forget getting together with friends. Oftentimes you don't even want to leave the house just because you're tired. You're constantly seeking rest and restoration. And no matter how much you're sleeping, you're not feeling it. You're not getting the rest. You're not feeling refreshed. And Sunday comes and you're dreading that Monday. You got those Sunday scaries, and you're kind of living with this gray cloud, this marine layer, like what we have here this morning in Laguna. This gray cloud over you, and this sort of like, there's always a low level of stress and anxiety with you 24/7. And other than that, you feel just a little bit numb inside. You can't get excited about looking ahead to the future, setting goals, trying new things, like all the things that you see online to kind of like, that are supposed to be inspiring, don't hit. You feel nothing. Like I'm describing exactly where I was 4 years ago, and exactly where many, many women across ages, but I specifically talk to Gen X women, so many are in the thick of that. When you're in the thick of it, there does not seem to be a way out. It looks a little bleak, and it can be, you just feel like you're just going to trudge along. But somewhere deep inside you, there is this core it starts out like this little voice, this intuition that is telling you that there's got to be more. Gen X women are anywhere, we're around 45, 46 years old to 61 years old. We're not retired yet. And we know, as we look ahead at the couple of decades that we have ahead of us, there's something inside us that's like, we gotta do something different. It's gotta be different. There's gotta be a way, and I know that I can figure it out. I mean, if there's one thing I can say about us Gen X women, is we are freaking resilient, and we figure things out, right? And we get it done. That's our biggest superpower, and sometimes our biggest curse, is the whole get it done mindset. Here's the thing. You can't skip ahead. You can't snap your fingers and be to the place where you want to be and have a life that you want to have. There's no I hate to use the cliche. There's no like magic bullet. There's no whatever. At the same time, as I've spoken with more and more of you on various points in your own journey, I am learning so many commonalities about how we move through this stuck point in our life, this burnt out exhaustion. Call it burnout recovery, whatever you want to call it, whatever label we're putting on it these days. The way people are moving through it, there's a lot of similar things. So if I was to break it down, what I would say is, first, you got to listen to that little voice in your head that says that you want to do something about it and that you can do something about it. And have faith that you can just simply put one foot in front of the other, because the one step is all you can even think of. Don't think about steps down the road. Don't think about what it's ultimately going to take. Don't think big picture. Don't do, bird's eye view. It's tiny, short, like what's right in front of you. You can't skip steps. You can't. And some of the steps that I took and that I've seen other women in the similar boat take. First step, you have to rest and heal. You have to. You know if your physical body is taking on this emotional, mental ache that you've been having. You know if it's been manifesting itself physically. And if you're tired, you know what's making you tired. So the rest, you have to plan for rest. And yeah, for me, I planned for the rest for a long time, over a year. I planned a sabbatical, And I've spoken with many of you who have planned sabbaticals that have come in different forms. I absolutely understand it's a privilege and a luxury that not everybody can do. So I just assuming that a full-fledged sabbatical is not doable, looking at sort of the lowest denominator of what is available. What kind of rest can you take? A PTO day. What does rest look like? Does it look like turning off your phone for an entire day? Not logging in online for an entire day? Does it look like sleep? Does it look like floating in some water? Does it look like taking a hot bath? Whatever it takes to lower that, you're like calming your nervous system, meditation or breath work, like whatever you're into or whatever it takes to rest. You can't skip that, and you can't fast forward it. It's funny, I've been referencing my sabbatical for quite some time, ever since I did it 4 years ago. And now that I'm like reliving the video diaries of that time, it's an excellent reminder to me to see how long it took me to actually feel rested. It took a while. It took a while to decompress. It took a while for my body to slow down. And so many of us want to skip that step or fast forward through it somehow, and come up with 1,000,001 reasons why we can't do it. We can't make it happen. I'm saying that there's a way to make it happen on some level, and you can't skip it. So the rest and the reset, like the rest and the healing, you can't skip. The next thing that I would say that you can't skip is, I'm trying to think of which one to mention next. Faith. Whatever your own spiritual beliefs are, whether you believe in God or whatever form God takes for you, whatever that looks like, whether it's a religion, whether it's something else, faith is one of the biggest elements that gets you through. I would not have made it through these last 4 years if it wasn't for my faith being amplified. I've strengthened my faith in my higher power, in God, and what that means to me. And I'm constantly being tested. And every time I'm tested, and sometimes I get off track, every time I get back on track again, every time I get back in touch with what that faith is and what it looks like and what it sounds like, the skies open up again. Things start to align again and again. And I'm reminded, because when you're taking a journey to sort of, pivot your life and move it in a slightly different direction, there are going to be challenges and tough times. There are going to be times, there's going to be seasons of self-doubt. There's going to be seasons of regret, that you don't think it's going to be possible. And you have to have that foundation of faith to get you through those times. There's no compromise. So some sort of faith, whatever that looks like. The next thing that you cannot skip, and you need to start on this before you feel like you're ready to, is reconnecting with joy. Rediscovering what joy is for you. What lit you up when you were a little girl that you have gotten away from? What makes you feel most like you? What lights you up? What gets you excited? You need to know what those things are. You may not be able to incorporate them all into your life all at once, but over time and over the journey you will. You'll start out with little pieces of it, And I'm telling you, it's like medicine. It's like taking a vitamin supplement. As you're pivoting your life and as you are like heading into a new direction, having touchstones of things that bring you joy, it's gonna propel you forward. So you can't skip that. Take some time and think about what those things are. What did it used to be? What can it be again? And really pay some attention to that. Then I would say what you can't skip and you can't fast forward, you can't speed, is clarity. Clarity is going to also take a lot of time. It's going to take time. It's going to take trial and error. It's going to take, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, again and again and again, to get clear on, what is it that you want? What is it that you want and need in this life? What do you want your life to look like? How do you want it to take shape? How do you want to live it on a daily basis? And how can that grow and develop, as we enter this third act of our lives? Really getting clear about it. And it's kind of cool again, because when I'm revisiting my summer sabbatical and my old video diaries, I can see the seeds of ideas and thoughts and decisions that I was making along the way that led to the lifestyle that I'm living now and the mission that I'm on now, serving Gen X women, helping you get the rest that you deserve, helping you take the break that you deserve, and helping you to design a pretirement that fills you up. The seeds for that work began at least during that sabbatical that I took, because I can tell by things that I talked about, things that were important to me, things that were occurring to me. So the clarity, it comes over time. You can, I went through coaching, I looked for resources, I looked for a lot of different ways. I used vision boarding, a lot of different ways to hone the clarity and to move it along. But it will unfold and it will show itself to you. And part of what I've been doing these last couple of years is helping other women hone that, helping sort of navigate this whole process to figure out what are our priorities, what's our vision, where do we want to go next. So you can't skip it and you can't shortcut it. So, but you can create conditions to allow it to unfold and to open up in front of you. The last thing that comes to mind that has repeatedly, that has been validated multiple times over the last few weeks, most recently this morning during our Gen X Women coffee chat. And then the other day when we were having our conversation in the Gen X Women Inner Circle, which is a membership group that I've formed as a result of these conversations. And what has come up again and again is the importance of community. Community. Hugely important. Connecting with other women in a similar season of life goes so far in not only helping us with the clarity, but once we have the clarity and we're ready for action, community is going to be a saving grace. There was a woman this morning who's been coming to the coffee chats for months, and she was in a really rough place when she first started joining the coffee chats. And she was sharing things that have evolved for her personally in her life, and where she is now compared to where she was several months ago. And among other things, she credited the support of our group. Just a couple of women this morning articulated how, like, just hearing other women's stories of similar situations, sometimes not even that similar, even though we can relate to like elements of the emotion of what each other's going through, even if the actual circumstances are vastly different. Hearing those stories, knowing we're not alone, knowing that we're not out here all by ourselves trying to figure this out, is empowering and inspiring. And you really start to feel the collective feminine energy of your peers, and it buoys you. Is it buoy? Is that propels you, I guess? But I was like thinking of like keeping you afloat kind of a thing. It really, really, really helps. And I've had a lot of conversations on this channel about community. There's a lot of women who have commented about how they've given up on friendships and they've just been hurt and betrayed so many times. And I get that. I've been there too. I would still urge you to find your community and to develop your community. And if you're not sure how to do that, send me a note. I'll share with you tons of ideas of how many of the women in my circle are doing it. But it is so important to have that community, because then when you have all of those things, when you've got the rest and the healing, what did I say? The rest and the healing, the faith, the joy, the clarity, the community, then you're ready for action. You're ready to take that one step at a time. It's not always going to be easy. Sometimes, like I said, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But all those things that you've got put into place is going to help you through that action. And it's going to open things up. Like I told you at the beginning of this video, don't look too far ahead. Don't look too big picture. Just really literally focus on the 1 step in front of you right now. When you have all of those things in place, you're going to start to look a little further out and a little further out and a little further out. And that's exactly where I am right now. Is I am now ready to start looking further out. I'm ready to start taking even more serious action to prepare for my future, for my down the road future that I had been afraid to look at. Really like setting myself up financially and making sure that I'm protected, and thinking about what solo aging is going to look like and what I'm going to have to put into place to do that well and to do that safely. I'm going to share a lot of that in a separate video of exactly what I'm doing. I've been very open on this channel that I am underprepared financially for retirement, and I'm now I'm ready to amplify my efforts in that regard, because I have clarity of purpose. I'm in touch with my joy. My day-to-day life is filling me up. I'm healed. I'm rested. I'm primed and ready. So I'm ready for that next thing. I'd love to hear from you, whether you are in the thick of it right now or just on the other side of it. Sort of these steps that I shared that you can't skip through. Does it resonate for you? What did I miss? I know I've missed something because there's others too. And I've pulled this from everybody's stories. So, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. I forgot to introduce myself at the beginning of this video, but my name is Amy Palmer. I am your Gen X big sister. I talk about all things pretirement on this channel. Pretirement, it's a term I made up a couple months ago. It occurred to me as I was yapping to the video like I am right now. It's the 10 to 15 years before retirement age, when you are not financially ready to retire. You might not even be mentally and emotionally ready to retire, but you can't keep living your life the way you have been the last couple decades. So pretirement is around designing a life now, not waiting until, designing it now that can make you happy. For all of the resources that I share around this, you can check me out at amypalmer.bio. I have various ways to connect there. My name's Amy Palmer. I am your Gen X Big Sister, and I am signing out.